Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience tuning in the South, but also those joining us online worldwide. Thanks to our friends at iHeartRadio. We're glad you all could be with us as well. I'm so excited to welcome for the very first time to our program actress Danielle Deadwyler. We're going to talk to her not only about her love of acting, but what it's been like for her to bring some amazing roles to life. You know, the great thing about Danielle, I first really discovered who she was, of course, on the hit show on the Boyfriend Network, The Has and Have Not. She brought to life the character Quita. But since then, she's been a part of some amazing projects, including the new film I had a chance to watch, and that's one that's very intense, very different from The Has and Have Nots. It's called The Devil to Pay. We'll talk to Danielle about that film, what it's like for her to be literally front and center, and all the other great things she has going on as well. Danielle, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Oh, my goodness. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Hey, look, I'm excited about this, Danielle. Like I said, I think, the great thing about your journey, we can kind of begin the conversation here, is that you've been able to bring different types of characters to life, right? Even, of course, when I first announced to the radio station that you were coming, of course, people now, will know you because of P-Valley as well, another popular television show. What has it been like for you, Danielle, to be able to do what you love and to be able to share that experience with all of us?
Oh, I mean, it's just been nothing but fantastic. It's the life of motherhood very, similarly. Like, I'm juggling multiple things. And so in the world of an actor, a working actor, you have the capacity, or you should have the capacity to juggle a lot of things, and that's been what it has been. Diving in an emotional, like, melting pot from P-Valley to have-nots to Devil to Pay. So it's been delightful to do that and to engage with people's responses, which is a melting pot unto itself. People are wild out in the streets. So, but I'm happy that they have a reaction. I'm happy to be a part of the conversation of what does it mean to be telling the stories in the body that I exist in as a Black woman, and I will, hope to continue to do so.
Yeah, I mentioned to you before we went on here, I first found out about The Devil to Pay when we first knew it as Reckoning, right? I mean, that was the name that we first heard about it. But then when your publicist, shout out to October Coast, sent it to me, I'm like, wow, this is really something. And I guess the thing that really impressed me so much, Danielle, there you are literally, as I said, front and center. What was it like for you to see the advertisements for this and to see all that hard work paying off for yourself?
I don't think I had like a huge reaction or epiphany or something. It's what I've been deeply ingrained with from my grandmother to my mother. You do the work. You deeply invest yourself in it. You commit to the making of your family and the making of yourself and the making of your community, and that thing will reveal itself. And it hasn't been like, oh, whoa, it's reifying, I guess, which is to say that almost like a manifesting. It's this thing that you knew were coming, so it's not a surprise, but it's a great amount of gratitude for the ability to see it manifest. So that's what I was talking about. Like, you do the work, and then perhaps the thing will come to be, and that's what's happening now. It's really cool to witness. But additionally, it's to be in the time that we're in now, because I have to say, arrest the killers, the murderers of Breonna Taylor, because that kind of like that this movie, when we were making it, it wasn't. These things weren't happening, right? It was 2017. But anything that's happening to a Black body, a Black female body, is a political thing. To tell a story about a body that looks like mine is a political thing. And so to have it come out now is a broiling effect, right? And I just feel, it's necessary to bring that into the conversation. So I'm proud of the work that was done. But this is also a part, like the metaphor of the movie is also a reflection of what's going on in reality, right? Like there is a rage that happens when somebody is pushed to the edge of their limits, or when somebody when you're trying to take over, when you're trying to inflict, havoc and terror on a family. What's she gonna do? She gonna buck back. So that's what Devil to Pay is.
Yeah. And to that point, if you don't mind, a couple more things about the film I definitely want to talk to you about, Danielle, because I think, too, it becomes about what would you do, right? What would you do if you're put in a situation where the thing that you love the most can be taken from you? How far are you willing to go? And we were able to kind of see that, kind of come, to life through you in that. Has that kind of been part of the fun for you to see the way that critics are responding to that? You're bringing those feelings to life.
I'm waiting to see more of that reaction, but I guess, I mean, the comparison. Somebody said something about. I know my directors have done some interviews, and it's in the vein of that thriller kind of thing where Liam Neeson or something like that. Somebody said something along those lines. I'm like, oh shit, whoa, that's funny. But yeah, we got it too. But that's also the other thing, the opportunity to do that. It's exciting. Like, you want to see this other kind of body do the same thing. What does it look like for her to do it? Okay, Liam Neeson killed him like this. All right, now watch me do this like this. So that's exciting to see. And I'm so grateful that Lane and Ruckus, are like, hey, what kind of movies you want to do? Oh, you want to do this? Okay, cool. What you think about this? And that's purely what it was. It was, let's do this film with you. And it's going to be like this because it's going to be full of this because it's coming from you. It's coming from a black woman. It's coming from a black mother. And that's what she's going to do. I'm going to take it to the limit because I have my son was in the movie. He played my son in the movie, Coy. So those things are real. Those things are palpable. That's a real fury popping off. So, yeah.
Well, and that's one of the things one of the critics that I read said even just this month, Danielle, saying that talking about you, so you give a brilliant performance as a woman struggling to survive and protect her young son. And I think that is the thing, right? I think, we never know what we'll do in a situation, but we know what we're willing to fight for, and you kind of really exemplified that. I have to ask you this question because, like I said, I, like a lot of people, got to know you as Quita from The Haves and the Have-Nots, even though you had done things before The Haves and the Have-Nots. What has that response been like for you to see people seeing you in that role and now in something like this or P-Valley?
People in Have and Have-Nots do not care about anything but Quita. That is what is going on. They do not know about P-Valley. They don't know about Atlanta. They don't know about Devil to Pay. They know that Quita is doing what Quita does, and that's what they want to talk about. And they are amazed that the things that she has done. I mean, and I'm like, Quita's not even on the show that much, right? But the TPS family is hardcore, and they never forget. So, shout out. Like, it's really a beautiful thing to be able to penetrate somebody's home and their story, investment. Like, that's a really cool thing. But it's like, hey guys, it's a lot of things going on. Come on, come ride the train. Come kill messed up people with me, shall you? Yeah, it'll be fun.
Right. Well,
but I'm really grateful.
Oh yeah, and I know, I had to bring that up because it's like, again, like I said, for myself, that's an introduction, and it's been so fun having different members of the cast. Angela Robinson, for one, loved when she and I last time she was on the program, we talked about what it was like for you going toe to toe with you, and she was talking about how fun that was, with you. So it's like, it's one of those interesting things, right? But I bring that up for another reason though as well, Danielle. You've been able to work on some amazing sets. I mean, talk to us about that because, it almost seems like, and I love what you said earlier, actually, so maybe I'm answering my own question here. Do you feel as though when you're going from set to set that it really is a fulfillment of what you've worked for?
It's a fulfillment of what I asked for, and I hope that I know you go to each set with the utmost of professionalism, and I go with as much openness as possible, to just be water. And you're going to work as diligently as you can. I know I will work as diligently as I can, and just be full and amongst the community. Film sets and TV sets, they're great to be a part of. People are all driving towards this one singular goal of making this thing look as beautiful as you can. That's hard to see. You know, that we can look at our nation right now, and folks are driving in all kinds of different directions. Not necessarily toward the one goal, but like I know when I'm on a film set, oh man, we wake up at 4:00 in the morning and we about to go in and we're going to do it together and it's going to be fantastic, right? So, or you hope that it will be. So, I mean, I go with that heart. I go with that spirit every time because I cannot be doing it, right? It's such a crapshoot sometimes to get a job. It's not like you're always able to look at a script and pick what you're going to do. People ask that question. Nah, you get an audition breakdown, you get the scene breakdown, and then you do it and you sit it in and you throw it away because you don't know if you'll get it. It's so many reasons why a person gets a gig. But if you get that job, you know, it's like, oh, okay, great, you got a job. Now you got to throw away the excitement and say, I'm devoted to this character. I'm devoted to being in this new world that you get to be in, and as long as I'm able to be a part of them, I'm gonna go full out, and then I do, you know. Yeah. And if I don't, then I'm gonna make other worlds that I am able to, you know, mold and collaborate with other folks that I love and adore in my community to make too. Because you're not sitting on you're not resting your loins. You're up, you're vibrant, you're boiling, you're ready to do the thing. So, yeah, right. I've been lucky, and they're all very different. You know, doing Watchmen was really the utmost of like hardcore. I know people talked about the style of approach with Watchmen, and like we did these super long takes, but it was beautiful, right? Because I'm a theater. I come from theater. Those are my first mediums, and so you already know when in theater you're a part of something. Once that play starts rolling, it's rolling. But right. In Watchmen, that's how that was. Things were rolling like you just, you know, it's a 20-minute take. Oh, okay. And then you're going to do it 20 times. Ah, fantastic. Let's roll. You know what I mean? That's right. That's what you dream to do. You know, wow. So that's it's been a joy to be on every single one of them. Yeah.
And we know there's a lot more to come. You're already working on some other projects, Danielle, and that's great. So talk to me about one last thing, and then we're going to remind our audience that they can stay connected with you. I want to talk to you about the balancing act, because I love the fact, even in this conversation, it's very obvious that you try to stay present in what you're doing, but you also are a person who are working on a lot of other different things. How does that work for you to be able to appreciate where you are, but also looking forward to what's to come?
Oh, man. It is staying deeply invested in the moment. I meditate on a daily basis, and I have a beautiful, supportive family. You know, I have my job. Like all of those things combined, those different spheres allow me to remain super grounded, to remain super humbled, and just the experience of being a human. And it's just negotiating and being highly communicative. Like, you know, this production is going to happen at this time. All right, can I move some things around? It's Tetris. I love Tetris. I haven't played it in a long time, but nonetheless. You know, or the Fibonacci, like, cool math game. My son has a cool math game. He plays Fibonacci's rule, and you just keep trying to mush the things together. But you take your time. Like, I'm not trying to rush things to happen. I'm deeply invested in the practice of patience and deeply invested in the practice of rest. Shout out to the NAP ministry, because overworking the body can lead to challenges. But when I started working through patience and working with that in mind, things just allow themselves to flow a little easier. And I don't try to push a thing to be something other than what it is. And dates just happen to move around and do what they do. But that's that's been a part of my career, my working career over the last 5 to 7 years. How does one do this? How does one grind? How does one be a mother? How does one strive to get all of these different things? And if you're bombarded, you can't be your full self. So taking everything, in stride, going with the flow. It's a flow. It's not going with the flow of everybody else. It's a flow. It's a particular pace and flow that I have to see and witness and appreciate. And I think I've learned to do that more in the last year. And that's what I do when it comes to the career. That's what I do when it comes to my own personhood too.
Well, that's powerful, and I think it's a reminder to all of us, Danielle, I believe, as to what it takes for the longevity, but I think also to be able to appreciate it, right? To be able to appreciate, what's coming your way and knowing how to be able to move forward. I think that's the beautiful thing. Again, everyone, great conversation today with the one, the only Danielle Deadwyler. We've been talking to her not only about the journey that she's been on. Danielle, I have to tell you, I was really excited about this when they told me you're going to be able to come on the program, because I've been looking for an opportunity, and it's so funny, and this is a true story. When I first saw you again on the Has and Have Nots, I was looking for your PR information online and couldn't find anything. So it really is, timing really is about everything. So when Clint Morris, shout out to Clint, said, "Hey, Cyrus, I'm representing the film The Devil to Pay," and I saw who was starring in it, and I said, "Clint, can we get Danielle?" He says, "Yeah, we can get
yeah, we're making it happen."
Yeah, so look, I appreciate you so much. How can our audience stay connected with you, Danielle, and kind of keep up with what's coming up next for you?
Oh, man, I'm on all the social medias, but more prominently participative on Instagram, which is just my full name, Danielle, at Danielle Deadwyler. I'm on Twitter, too, but I am not a Twitter fighter. Okay, at Captain_D_, and then I got Facebook stuff with just my name as well, Danielle Deadwyler. So that's where I am. I also have a website. It's DanielleDeadwyler.com with all of the fun stuff. So holla at me. I'm here.
Yeah. So make sure you guys stay connected. And also, you guys look for The Devil to Pay. Come in the drive-in theaters on October the 2nd, and also on demand on October the 6th. This is a film you guys are going to really love. It's really Danielle Deadwyler in a different light that I have not seen her in anything else like this film.
Different. I am just happen to be murderous. That's all.
Just happened to be, right? Well, actually, in that respect, maybe it's not so different than it has.
I play hardcore women. No, this is fun. It's different. It's fun. It's
Danielle, continue blessings to you. And it goes without saying, you are welcome back here anytime. Looking forward to having you back on the program again.
Thank you so much. I am so grateful for you. Thank you.
Hey, more than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make today amazing. Take care.